is the Rebel Scum Podcast. Available in video on YouTube and audio wherever you listen to your podcasts. Every week, Brock and James talk the latest rumors, news, and theories from a galaxy far, far away. Support us on Patreon for exclusive offers and join the Star Wars discussion. Patreon.com/Rebel Scum Podcast. Here are your hosts, Brock and James.
You are always scum. Rebel Scum.
Rebel Scum. I'm Brock. This is
James.
And this is Heidi, as always. And it's episode 352. And we have just watched episode 7 of Skeleton Crew. Penultimate episode of the series. Hello. Penultimate. Hello to the two of you. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Great.
Nice. Well, initial thoughts of this episode.
I'm confused.
Bull crap, Jod.
Well, I said that they could actually. I think it was a couple weeks ago. I said they could actually, completely go against expectations, and he's just going to be evil. But
good. I'm not gonna lie. I really like this episode.
I was like, it's probably because you're a little sick. I was just like not feeling the vibes here. I was like, what's going on?
I was like, right. I was waiting for the shoe to drop on John, and it didn't. And I was like, thank flibbity flib. Like I was really happy. You know what's funny was I did a video on it yesterday, 2 days ago, and I watched the trailer again, like the first or second trailer, whatever, one of the trailers. I just watched it, and I was like, there's a shot when they're coming down the ramp, and I said, I don't think we've seen that shot yet, and it was in this episode. And I was like, man, those trailers. You know what? I mean, they haven't really. There's a few little things like the transmission that was spoiled in the trailer, whatever, but it kind of made me miss the Force Awakens days when it was like the first 25% of the movie was in the trailer, and that the rest of the movie you're like, I don't know what's happening. It kind of made me miss that a little bit. But no, I was all in on when he ignited the lightsaber and took out, but spoilers for episode 1 through 7 of Skeleton Crew. When he took out Smee, I was like, yeah, let's go. Let's do it. I mean, he'll probably come. We'll have an odd later that Heidi gave us. He'll probably come back, but like, yeah, somebody needed to die, and he brutally murdered. Anyway, it was. We'll talk about it soon, but it was. They went in a direction with Jod and Nana Wood that I didn't anticipate, to be honest, and I am a-okay with it, frankly.
Heidi, what did you think of? What's your initial response to this episode?
I mean, I thought it was good, and like I said, I part of me had a feel. I mean, I don't know. We haven't seen the last episode yet, but it's kind of hard to redeem this character at this point, especially since he just shot. Which I kind of saw that coming, that he was going to shoot Brutus in cold blood, where they said leave or we'll kill him. So I was like, okay, so he shot him dead. It's kind of hard to come back from that. I mean, who knows? Vader came back, and we've seen Vader murder children. So,
I
don't know. Like I said, I'm not all that surprised because when he turned on them the first time, I think that went against expectations. So this show seems to do that. So if he's just the main villain till the end. I never saw Treasure Island, so I have no idea what the character did, if he ever did a face turn or whatever. So I don't know. I mean, maybe he'll do a face turn, but I'm not.
Yeah. I think you're right. It's still so up in the air, like who exactly this character is. So I mean, maybe one of the best villains we've seen in a while. I was happy with it. I've gotten to the point with these episodes where I'm like, I know I'm gonna just finish this episode and be like, I feel like I might have missed some details or something like that, and it's just like it boils down to I'm gonna rewatch the show for sure.
There was, I don't know if you guys noticed, so I'm trying to put a pull up on it, but I don't know if you guys noticed, but when the parents were all being held by the droids in this episode, there was like a mural on the wall.
Yes.
And I'm like, what the hell is this mural? And I don't know if I'm a big enough Star Wars fan to know, like, did you guys recognize any of that? Like, what was it?
I was
women. I don't know.
Yeah, I just could see women characters. I was watching it on my phone because I was too lazy to go all the way downstairs. Yeah. So it's just like, again, it's like I know I need to like watch this whole series once the sun goes down. There's no glare, and just watch the whole thing all straight through.
Yeah.
I agree though. Just like there's points in the show, I'm like, there's got to be more to this. I actually did it seem like when the what is the main person on that planet called, the supervisor?
Yeah,
supervisor.
That announcement, did that seem like they were shocked just to hear the supervisor voice, or is that just the parents are like, oh god, they're here?
Yeah,
it sounded like they were shocked. Yeah.
So
I mean, he did have one thing that was redeemable, and so maybe it's a sign of foreshadowing some things to come. He didn't kill. Spoilers: the rat's name is Snowball. That's
is it?
Yeah, he didn't kill Snowball when he had the chance. So yes, you have a heart. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good call. That's a good call.
Oh yeah, Skyworks got me in the chat saying we didn't get the flashback everybody was talking about. Yeah, there seemed to be. I didn't ever even thought of a flashback, to be honest. So, Brock, you're not tapped into the onlineisms, but online, like everybody was. So Jude Law apparently said this was his favorite episode, and you learn a lot about Jod in it. And people are like, flashbacks coming. We're getting the flashback, and I didn't think we're gonna get a flashback episode. This isn't that kind of show. Like it just, this show doesn't really. We haven't done that yet. It would have been out of character for it. But yeah, that was the big thing, was everybody was anticipating this big Jude Law flashback where obviously Ahmed Best saved him.
That'd be amazing.
I mean, the only reason why I was expecting a flashback was because of a spoiler of a character in Wikipedia site. So.
Oh, okay.
Damn you,
I'm
Wikipedia.
not gonna say what that person's name is. If you want to spoil it, you gotta spoil it for yourself, but I'm not gonna do that.
Ah, fair. Honestly, this episode just kind of tells me he's not a Jedi. I don't know. The way he's holding the lightsaber, is like that whole part where he's like holding it in front of him, it looked like this, like, ha. I'm like, that doesn't.
But there's something force related with him at the same. Like,
absolutely.
There's something more.
I mean, my thought was, why didn't the kids tell the parents right away? Because right now he's isolated.
Yeah, but he has a lightsaber in the Force.
Yeah, but
well, they're kids, and he said he'll kill their parents.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I did that.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Heidi.
I was gonna say, maybe these robots, they don't have weapons. They only have stun weapons, it seems. So I don't know if he killed all the robots or something, or what happened. We don't know what happened down there, because I'm just thinking, I mean, if he's pulling a weapon, aren't they going to attack? Because aren't they going to see that as a threat?
I think he pulled that lightsaber to say, I'm a Jedi, you can trust me. That's what I think we're going with it. Like, because you got a whole final episode to go, and him I think it was a great cliffhanger, but you got a final episode to go, and you're going to start it with him threatening everybody, and he has no way out of there, really. Like, he doesn't. I don't even know if he knows how to get out. So I feel like he's going to be like, no, you can trust me, I'm a Jedi. Kids, tell them they can trust me, like that kind of thing. And then we have to contact my ship or something like that's gonna happen. I mean, I may be way off. I have only watched it once, and I'm still fixated on what that mural was on the wall. So
yeah,
it's funny that like the droids, they're like, oh, we know exactly who you are and what you're up to, except for anyone that isn't from the planet. It's sort of like, oh, okay, you must be the Rebel adversary. It's like, yes, that's exactly who I am. I'm like, it's just so funny.
But the genius of the writing of the show is everyone has known him as something else, so you believe that he can easily fall into whatever person that they want him to be, because we've seen it all season that he is whoever he needs to be to fit into this situation. So well done, Skeleton Crew. One episode to go. Are they going to stick the landing? That's the question. I think they will too.
I think it's like their only possibility for letdown is if we've been thinking about so many different things they could do in this show, and they just don't fulfill every single thing in our head. But I think the story is going to win no matter what.
I'm not gonna lie. I agree with that. Typically, I don't know what I've built up in my head that I really want. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what I'm anticipating anymore. As weird as that sounds, like I just don't know what they could do that would disappoint me at this point. Like, in terms of, I have no expectations, is what I'm saying, where it's going. Like, I'm thinking like, oh, maybe we'll have he'll turn the lightsaber on and pretend he's a Jedi, but that wouldn't disappoint me if he didn't. Like, it's not a big enough thing for me. So I don't know how you guys are, but right now I just don't think there's anything that could, other than not concluding the story and like half-assing it, I don't see what they could do. I just moved our logo and thing down so your face doesn't get blocked, Brock.
I like to hide behind it. Like
every week I'm like, why? Every week I'm like, why is it there? I need to put it down low. and so anyway, sorry.
I like to hide behind it by Plagueis behind the stone.
Acolyte callback. Heidi, you gonna be disappointed next week?
I mean, the only reason why I would be disappointed if we just stay on that planet and they only fight him and that's it. The show's over. We don't know what happened to anything else or who's interested in whatever. I mean, maybe KB will reach out to Kim, because Kim said if you're in trouble, reach out to me. So I think the New Republic get involved.
Yeah, because somebody from there knows. There's somebody who knows where they are, and Kim's already contacted them. So I think, I feel like that character's coming back as well. Like, they came back last week, the X-Wings. So I don't think that's the end of it. Like, I'm curious how long. I think the times have been released, but I'm not sure how long next week's episode is. Dale, this week was what, 35 minutes?
Yeah, I was just like, I know you're not going to be long enough.
But I got to a point in this episode where I was like, oh, they're going to end it now. And it was like 15 minutes in. I'm like, we still got 15 minutes. Let's go. I was like, because I was like, I thought it was going to be short. And then I don't remember what the beat was, but it got to a point. I'm like, oh, this is where we're going to end it. All right. That's disappointing. It might've been when they were when they were flying into Ad-Adin. I'm like, oh, we're going to wait till next week for that. And then I was like, 15 minutes to go. Okay, let's go. We got this. I like short episodes, although I will point out that Disney did call me out last week where I say I like short episodes, and then she goes, also, James, watch this 1 hour podcast on talking about a 30-minute show. So that was kind of I got ripped. I like the short episodes though, because I would rather talk about it than watch it. That's right, Disney, come at me.
I just don't want to set up that there's this big secret to this planet. We never find out what it is.
I think that's what I want to know. It's like, what exactly is that at? And I can be fine never finding out how Jod can, Silvo can like move things with the Force. I can be okay with that. But yeah, like, I think At-Atin is the mystery of the show, honestly.
Like, why are there statues of Neil's species all around?
Yeah. What is that species? That's what we must know. It's not Neil's species.
But that mural wasn't Neil's species, though.
That's true.
That's what it's baffling to me. Dale and chat, we didn't get a cameo. 50% of the people on Star Wars Santa's prediction game were banking on. Was that the Mando one, Heidi? Do you know what he's talking about? Is that the Mando? Because I know you kind of predicted Mando was going to show up, but they said before, they were like, don't expect any cameos. And I might be naive and stupid, but I took them at their word on that one. I was like, I'm not expecting anything crazy. Like, I think we're gonna learn the supervisor, and supervisor is gonna be probably like Tack Renaud or whatever. Like, he's gonna be like that guy. Like, that'll be the supervisor, and it'll be Neil's grandfather or something stupid. But like, I don't think we're gonna get any crazy cameos.
I'm the one that said it was Neil. I'm the one who said Neil. That was Neil's grandfather.
Yeah, no, that's what I like. Yeah, no, but the Mando cameo I'm talking about. I'm into that one because now I'm like, because with the like everything you said, I was like, yeah, it could be something. Like, all these people are probably like descendants of the same 5 people.
Ew.
A lot of incest going on.
Like, I'm just wondering, like, why was the ambassador ship hidden inside the pirate ship? Why was it buried underground for so long? That's why it was brought in, because it was the ambassador ship that was hidden inside his pirate ship.
Yeah, that's a good question.
The ship I like that the ship has a lot of questions still, but I like that they answered that it's not a pirate ship, it's an Aden ship. So why is it a pirate ship? Like, and I think Brock, you said it last week, where it's like everything on the ship is so pirate. Maybe it's like faked to be that way. Maybe they made it up to seem that way. So I'm not quite sure what the answer to that ship is yet, but I'm fascinated by what we're going to get in next week's episode.
Because it was, they said it was Republic ambassador, and like, how long has it been since one of them have been there?
Apparently forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because his dad told him to go look for a Republic ambassador or something.
That's true.
Yeah, he did.
But I don't think they know the Empire ever existed.
What does the dad say? It's like, or does one of the parents say it's like, oh, we'd have told you the truth when you were 18 or something like that?
Yeah, when they're done, when they graduate, they figure it, they learn it. Yeah.
So that's there has to. I mean, you don't drop a line like that and not explain that in the final episode.
I don't think they know what the planet's for. I mean, maybe they do, but I think they're in the dark about a lot of things as well. I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure if they know that the Republic fell and the Empire took over and then the Empire fell. I'm not sure if we even know that.
Yeah, I highly suspect. I know it's probably all just semi-automated and all that, but I like when the ship is landing, it's just the landing pad's under a park, and they're just like, watch out! And then people are like running down the grass.
That was great.
Yeah. So
I don't know. I thought this was a good episode. I thought it was a good penultimate episode. Like, it was a good way to get us into it, and it wasn't usually like it's a calm before the storm, but this one felt like the wind before the storm. You know, when like you're like, it's windy, and then Panaka's like, looks pretty bad. That's what this episode was. This was a looks pretty bad episode of it, where everything was looking good for the kids, but then Jod in his mask showed up. I feel like Jude Law honestly was like, I will sign on, but I want to hold a lightsaber, I want to use a force, and I want to wear a cool Star Wars mask. But also, I need my face to be seen for most of the episodes. Like, we can make this. We can make all of this happen. He's like, all right. But a rip R.I.P. to Brutus. Jeez, he went out like a pirate. He just got shot in the face. But that's when I was like, oh, Jude Law is just the bad guy. Like, there's no like, because I thought, I guess wrongfully so, that his heart-to-hearts that he had with Wim and like those I thought those were genuine. But now I'm thinking maybe he's just a giant POS, and I kind of like that, because like you said, Brock, we haven't had a genuine villain, or this could be like the best villain we've had in a long time.
Yeah,
long time. True. Like, yeah, because he's just pure evil at this point, and he just wants money. Like that, and that's why like his motivation is simple. He wants money. That's it. And I kind of like the simplicity of it, and that he will kill to get it, and he will use whoever he needs to get there, and go by whatever name. Either he's just a greedy jerk, and I'm all in on that.
Yeah,
but I have a feeling he's gonna be in over his head.
Well, yeah, that he's gonna go out like Eartha Kitt in Batman.
Yeah, it's just like, how exactly do you extract yourself unless he convinces them to let the pirate? I mean, those pirates have to land on that planet because like we got to have some massive something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's why. That's part of the reason why I think he's going to dupe them into believing he's a Jedi, because we need that ship to land on the planet because we need some kind of shootout with the droids, with the droids and stuff. So
yeah.
So that's why I think that's going to happen.
I mean, maybe they've been secretly, like I said, maybe they were, maybe they're funding the separatists.
Yeah, yeah.
They're still funding whoever.
Dale's got a good point. Our heroes never fell further from home in the middle of their own planet.
Oh, yeah. Like, it's pretty. I like that their vaults are like so far under the ground. It's like, what's going on down there?
I thought I heard an animal at one point, but maybe it was just lowering the
Balrog.
A what?
Balrog.
Oh, Balrog. You shall not pass.
That's the next. That's Neil. That's the supervisor's gonna say that.
Oh my god,
that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I honestly really just want to rewatch this series because it's just like, this is very good. And you know what? I'm not a person that's into the music, but there are parts in the show, usually near the beginning, where like the music stings are just like, it's exactly what I need. Are they movie style? Of course not. They're not John Williams, but like the little tingling where the show starts, I'm like, yeah, that's great.
And I felt this episode had the strongest music so far in the series for me. There's been a few music cues, I've said this on the show, that I haven't been crazy about, but this one, I try not to let those things get to me either. But sometimes I'm like, ugh, I don't know about that. But this episode, I was like, there's one point where I was like, oh, I like this music. Like, I genuinely was like, oh, I like the music because it felt retro, like classic retro, not like synthesizer. And I was like, oh, I like that. So I enjoyed it. I thought look, it was just like the show. It's fun because it's like it's a kid show, Goonies, and like the thing with those old shows was there was always stakes and a little bit of danger. And they're not shying away from it. Like, you're like, oh, these kids could easily be killed. They're not going. I don't think they're going to get killed, obviously, but like they could be. Like, they're in a position now in a scenario where you're like, okay, well, one wrong move and their parents are going to die, and they're going to die, and Ad Aden's, all the riches of Ad Aden are going to be taken by these scummy pirates, and that's something that I think you need, and especially a show like Star Wars was like that too. Like Star Wars, you knew Luke Skywalker's not going to die. But, you put them in a dangerous situation to watch that play out, and it adds more, and then you're more invested, especially when you're a kid and you're watching kids, your age coming of age and all that, and seeing them take on their own. And now I'm curious what their role will be in the last episode now that they're home, like how much it will be on them, to take on Jod and the pirates and stuff. Now that we got the droids and the parents and like, other than the droids, like how you said, it's all stun stuff, but do they have a military on this? You would think like they have that giant force field, whatever they call it, that guns everyone down. You'd think they might be some kind of military stuff on the planet as well. And I think that was hinted at in Alan Arkin planet, Alan Arkin. I think it was hinted in that planet where they have guns and stuff, or whatever. So I'm curious what the kids are going to be up to next week now.
I mean, I just think there's something nefarious going on this planet, and I think pirates and Jod are going to end up going against an even darker evil than them.
Oh, yeah, wait, you can't. Hold on, Brock. You can't just stop. A darker evil than them? Sorry, Brock. Go on.
Yeah, no, I think the explanation of this planet is definitely going to connect with the pirates, because why even bother thinking up a pirate's name and have the ship be there and not have some connect? And then like they're just like, the pirates are just here because they heard about a treasure, like, which I know that's sort of pirates in general, but like it's just like there has to be something. I hope that the conclusion isn't also like just an open-ended thing where it's like we're gonna do a season 2. It's like just assume you're not gonna get a season 2 and just make a full story. So, because that has been one of the issues the last couple of series.
I think they said if they did a second season, there'd be a time jump, and my hope is that exactly like you just said, because the last few series have been like season 2's coming. You're like, is it? I don't like, and they're acting like they're like, nah. So it's been disappointing when you get to the end, the finish line, and it doesn't end. But I hope it ends. But with Stranger Things season 1, I thought was perfect where it ended, and then they're like, here's a PS. And you're like, oh, and for me, I don't know how you guys feel about those, but for me, like that PS to me was one of those ones where it's kind of like I Know What You Did Last Summer, that one of the greatest movies ever made is I Know What You Did Last Summer. But at the end, like the guy jumps out at Jennifer Hewitt out of the shower, and then it's like, I still know. And you're like, okay, it doesn't matter if that happened or not. It's a little PS at the end of these things. And those to me are like they're almost like end credit scenes should be, but they're separate from what you watch. So Stranger Things ended, and they do that little tag with Will at the end of the first season. But if there is no second season, it doesn't really matter because it's kind of like, oh, okay. Like it's just one of those things where you're like, okay, it could always go on or not. But it still ended. And I think if they did something like that, I would be okay with it. I don't know how everybody else would, because I think we live in a different era also from when the first Stranger Things season came out, where people might freak out. But I think like a little tag, a little tease, I'm okay with, as long as you conclude the story. And then you're like, tag, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, if like a time jump is like 20 years into the future or something like that, where it's like these kids are full adults, or maybe it's a whole group of different people from and trying to figure out, was like, wait, hey, remember that time pirates came here and like they didn't really explain what was going on? And then you have a whole different storyline trying to unravel this mystery of this planet. And then maybe an older version of these kids pops in at some point. I could get behind that, but does that? I think Star Wars should try to be like, hey, we did this one thing called this, and now we're going to make a second season, but it's going to be called something totally different, but it will connect in some way.
Yeah, they did it with Boba Fett, and everybody lost their minds.
That's true. That's very true.
I know, but I think the thing with Skeleton Crew, though, that goes towards that is this is the first friggin' show we've gotten that's not named after a stupid person.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, okay, so we're not bogged. It's not, it should be called Neil, but it's not called Neil. So it could be about whatever you want. You're like, it's a Skeleton Crew, which is just a small crew. It's like brilliant. And I think that helps the series out a lot too, because now it's like Stranger Things isn't called Will, it's called Stranger Things. You're like, okay, so it could be about anything weird. And that's the same with this. And True Detective, like I was thinking about that, like what show the thing, like the Penguin, they're talking about season 2 of the Penguin. I'm like, if you didn't call it the Penguin, you could make it about anyone.
Yeah.
But now, like, if you make it about, maybe like it's second season, but it's about somebody else, it's like the Skeleton Crew, you can kind of do that. You can be like, your Skeleton Crew. And as long as you have some kind of connection to Adam or something, I think you can get away with it. But yeah, I don't know. They gotta just stop with the damn names, though. Just stop. I hope whatever that Ray movie is not called the Ray movie, but I feel like that's what it'll be called. The Ray movie, a Star Wars story about Ray.
As much as I'm looking forward to the Mando and Grogu movie, like the one thing I don't like is it's called The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, I don't know. Star Wars doesn't need to, like, books. I think books are fine. And I don't know. I always thought like these shows were kind of similar to the books, so maybe I'm hypocritical when I'm saying this, but like I don't think they should be named after characters. They should be named after, I don't know what, but like, because once you name it like Andor, okay, but what if Andor, one episode focuses on somebody, a Luthen or whatever, you're like, but it's supposed to be about Andor. Like, no, it's about more than Andor. He's just the central figure. I think that gets lost, especially in how dumb people are today. Like, people are dumb. But well, I was watching something, and I can't remember what it was, so I won't bring it up. But it was funny because they were talking about how people were dumb, and they're like, I'm going to have to explain this. And then it's like, so I explained it because people are dumb. And sure enough, they didn't get it. And I was like, yeah. Everything's too literal for everybody now. It's like, chill the F out, man. Relax. These are fake.
I feel like I was watching something like that. I'm like, this is exposition, but not in a bad way. It's just like, well, we have to do this so that everyone fully understands. I can't think of it. I was just watching that Kunk on Life special where it's just like a lot of humor based at like, this is how dumb we are as a society.
Oh my god, we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this. Like that title.
Star Wars Johnny Walker's whiskey movie. I would watch that. Look, I've really enjoyed Skeleton Crew. I think it's been a fun ride, and I hope they stick the landing, because right now I was waiting. Like I said, I was waiting for that shoe to drop on Jod, and it didn't. And they still called him Jod. And didn't Smee call him Jod? I think Smee called him Jod as well. So I'm leaning towards his name is actually Jod. And he was being honest with the kids. But I don't think it was because he was being nice to them. I think it was because he was being genuine with them to use them to get him where he needed to go. Yeah. I think that's what it was. So I think he did tell the kids the truth. But I do think there will be a soft spot towards the kid. I think the Long John Silver thing is still going to play out in some capacity. But I mean, it's a little bit harder now. But Long John turns on what's his face in the book too. So it could still happen. But I think it's gonna. We have an odd coming up that I think is probably going to be the most accurate of them all for his ending. Might not happen. Again, the thing is, I'm not like going to be disappointed if it doesn't show up. I might be more disappointed if like cameos show up in this show, because we're on a planet now that nobody knows about. And unless the rebel guy is Luke Skywalker or Leia, like, do I need any of them to come?
I was just in a cell on the pirate ship that we let land, and the explosion let me escape. Here I am. Han Solo.
And it's all in Aaron back.
I mean, Carson Tava might show up, or Trapper Wolf, or
but I don't think they will either, only because they had the chance to put them in it already, and they didn't. They chose faceless X-Wing pilots when they could have done that. I don't think this show is about that. I think it's staying far away from it, but it still feels like a fit. And look, if they show up, I don't think those characters I'd be disappointed with. But I don't know. I just feel like we're not going to get anyone. I just feel like we're not going to.
I think we could just do without, and it'd be fine. The only thing I think could make some logic is like the end of the episode. It's like, they have to send a warning out to the actual Republic, and like someone we know from our movies, or the previous movies, are like, oh, have you ever heard of a place called At Atten? Season 2 next July.
That, you know what, that would be like a tag, like I just talked about, and I would be totally okay with that.
Yeah,
it's kind of like Leia at the end of Rogue One being like, hope. You're like, okay,
yeah. The
movie doesn't rely on Leia. You can cut that; it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
but like, I'm okay with that. And as long as it is, oh my god, can you imagine they do that, but they'd make it Han, Luke, and Leia all together, and Leia's prego. Could you imagine if they did that, or did they have like little baby Ben? I don't know what the time period was. Could you just imagine like that? I can't. I want to know what the internet reaction would be. I think the first one would be like, "This is what we should have got in the sequels," but also I'm like, that would be an amazing flex if they were just like, "Here you go," and they're all AI. They're all made by AI. They don't even try to hide it. They're like, we made this by AI. Just to piss everyone off even more.
They move and turned into puppies at some point.
those videos are terrifying, man.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Heidi.
You just use Pez dispensers. Yeah, I mean, if you ask me what thing's gonna happen, I think they might be rescued by this huge army, and we're gonna think they're the good guys, but they're actually the bad guys. I think that might happen.
Yeah, I think you're right.
That's kind of a cool twist. Yeah, I like that.
Because I think these people are very naive, and they don't know they're working for horrible people. They think they're working for good people, but I think they're secretly working for the they don't know that they're working for the First Order, and if Ron was here, he'd be upset. But
yeah, I'm really hoping for it to be the First Order, because then that'll be like, whoa, that's crazy. You know what I mean? I mean, not crazy. We expected it, but like, I think it would be just, oh, by the way, your idyllic community is actually financing the villains in the galaxy right now. Oh,
that'd be cool
though. Yeah.
I do think that, like I said the last time, I do think there's a reason we saw the banking clan in the last episode.
Yeah. There has to be there. Yeah.
Oh, and I don't know if you guys heard, but I don't know if it's official, but characters from Skeleton Crew are going to be in the Filoni movie whenever that gets made. So
is that legit?
I think it's as legit as we get nowadays. Yeah. So I think if you're onto something, we could be learning more about what the Filoni movie could be about. If that's all accurate. I don't know. I mean, like, we don't know. I don't know how it's going to. I would suspect it would be Jude Law because you want Jude Law in your movie, right?
Yeah.
But if he ends up dead or vanishing or whatever, can you bring him in? Do you bring him in? Like, I don't know. But I think I would bring him in because I think you'd want, like, honestly, who wouldn't want Jude Law in a Star Wars movie right now?
So,
and he took out Smee. I know Filoni. Favreau's just
Grogu. Sorry, Filoni said this. Or
no, I don't know. It's a
oh, okay. Because I'd be like, why? What a way to like ruin the ending of the show and like your preconceived notions for whatever his actual project will be. I'd be like, come on. I love it.
No, I'm the one speculating Jude Law. I feel like the kids will be there for sure, but I think just like as an actor, you would want Jude Law.
Oh yeah, no. But I'm saying it kind of ruins it for me that that there's any connection between this hypothetical project that may or may not happen and what we have right now. You know what I mean? Like, it's just sort of like, but why?
Except that this was supposed to be a High Republic show that they turned into a Mandoverse era show. So I think that was like kind of like, okay, well, they're going to appear in the Filoni movie. Like, there's a reason why they moved it from one to the other, because it all again, because you mentioned, like, I haven't read the High Republic. You mentioned it a lot, and what you've said about it and what I see on the show, I'm like, I could totally see how this would have worked on a High Republic era. You can fit this in any era. So I feel like there was a reason for that, and I might not have been Jude Law's character, but for some reason they decided the Mandoverse, and if you're going to do something, if you're going to make it in the Mandoverse, you would suspect that it would be in the movie that's going to be the culmination of everything we've got. And so, but as long as we get more Neil.
I think the show is going to end with being revealed that we're still at the bus stop, and this is just Neil.
Yeah.
While they were playing the whole time waiting for the bus.
He hit him really hard with something, and he's having a coma dream. This is all a Jacob's Ladder scenario.
Oh my god! I do think we're going to get something is up with Wim. Like, something is coming with Wim. Like, they keep teasing it, and it's like, what is going to happen with him? And once again, I was worried he was going to use the Force. I was like, oh, are you going to use it? Is his dad going to tell me he's Force? Like, what is happening? What are we going to get? Like, there's something he is going to do something next week, and I don't know what it is, but I feel like he's going to have a big impact on the resolution of what's going on.
By the way, how that little actor and being able to cry on screen like that's very impressive. It's hard for adults to do that, let alone children.
Yeah. All right. I mean, I thought that was a great episode. I can't wait. I just
one more though, and then we're back to waiting.
Yeah. What's the next show?
Andor is the spring, I think.
Andor, right? Yeah. Good God.
I mean, it could also be the show we don't get all the answers, but then everything we answer in like a cutscene, kind of like Andor did, where they answered what they were building in a cutscene.
Yeah, true.
Yep.
Andor season 2, April 22nd.
Oh God,
that's not too bad.
That's a ways out, but
Wim teaches Jod how to be a good person. Or he can just stay bad. I'm okay with that too. I hope he stays bad, honestly. Although I feel like I feel like there's going to be a choice, an ultimatum being brought to him. But we'll see what happens. All right, you want to go to the odds?
Let's do it.
Of successfully navigating an asteroid field is approximately 3,720 to 1.
Never tell me the odds.
Never tell me the odds. Brought to you and me by patreon.com/Rebel Scum Podcast. If you like what we do, go to patreon.com/Rebel Scum Podcast and support us in any way you can. We put some juicy content on there every once in a while, and we are so thankful that people think that we should talk about Star Wars once a week. And those wonderful people are Heidi Feder, executive producer, Barry Brophy, Dennis Allen, Sooner Thrawn, Randy Kenobi, Mary Kristen Naton, Dale Erdman, Phil Stanifor, Rez, Scott D,
Josh Price, Matt W, Frank Perkins, Neil Lowry, Cosmic Girl 02, Gleek Play 1, Denim Nerds, Disney Desi, Charlotte, Ron Prasag, and Jeff Wilson.
Thank you.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Appreciate
it. Circles.
Oh.
Bubbles. This is what happens when you support us on patreon.com. You see cool layouts. What's today's odds, James?
You know what? I got a write-in odd from Skywalker's Academy. Never tell me the odds. Ooh. What are the odds? What are the odds? Jod double crosses the pirates. What are the odds? Jod double crosses the pirates.
100%.
It's like you don't even know Jod. He's such a good character. He would never do that. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go 77.77777%. Heidi?
I'm going 99.9%.
Yeah, like it's just sort of like I think Jod is only in it for Jod, so it's like he will do whatever it takes. He has no. It's just you know what the problem is like he's the villain, but we don't hate him yet. I mean, I guess you could kind of be mad at him after this episode, but you're like, oh, you don't deserve to be, punished.
I mean, I like Brutus.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I mean, he's gonna turn on no matter what. If he does a face turn, he's gonna turn on them to protect the kids. If he doesn't do a face turn, he's going to want all the money for himself. He could have the pirates load a ship, and he just takes on and leaves them. So either way, he's gonna betray them, whether or not he does a face turn.
Yeah.
Nice, good point. And our next odd is from executive producer Heidi. Heidi's saying, what are the odds that they repair SM-33? What are the odds they repair SM-33?
I want to go for sure 100%. Though after this episode, it's like he's going to come back somehow. But it's like his head is not on his body. I don't know. But yeah, I think we see him walk into a scene at the end. He's like, I'm alive. Here's my snowball.
Yeah, I feel like that's happening. I'm gonna go full Brock. Because I think it will happen, but I don't want it to happen because I have no soul and I want him to remain dead.
I mean, they could do with him what they did with ID-11 and just get apart from that resort planet. Because his head, one of those robots, his head had a head at that resort planet, so they can just grab one of those and just do what they did with IG-11.
True.
Nice.
I mean, I could see him being the new supervisor or something.
Yeah, could you imagine the supervisor is just a droid that looks exactly like SM-33?
Oh my god. That would be incredible. And our final odd, Jod Nana Wood will go missing in the mint. He will go missing in the mint.
Like at the end or just
like fall to his death in the mint.
Oh, I see. I want to go low. I feel like maybe Jude Law doesn't want to be this character forever, but like he's a really good character, and pirates are just timeless. So I want to say 25%.
I'm gonna go 65%. Long John Silver. That's my. I'm not giving up on that one until it happens.
I'm gonna go full Brock because I think his the end of the show, we could get a second season, but I think his the end of the show will be ambiguous. When you're saying that, I was picturing him diving into the gold like Scrooge McDuck.
Like that's exactly what Dale just said. Like Peter and Family Guy, but it hurts because it's gold.
It's gold.
Yeah.
I have an odd. I just
I knew another write-in.
Write in the odd. What is the name of the captain that SM-33 originally answered to, or whatever that you
Tack Rennet or something?
Right. What if Tack Rennet is a droid? That's a thought that popped into my head while we were talking. What if he's a droid? He's just a droid pirate. Because IG-11, like you said, he was like a real thing. He was just a droid. What if SM-33 is actually the captain, and he just reprogrammed himself somehow?
Oh.
And Snowball's a concubine.
Yeah. I'm just saying, there's so much to that story. We have no idea what's going on. I don't know. Anyways.
Oh, I like it. I'm gonna go full Brock and chicken out on it, but I do like that. But there's there's not that much to explain actually. No, I like that. I like that full Brock.
I'm gonna go full Brock on my own odd as well, because I'm like, who knows? That's crazy.
Heidi?
I don't know. That's not the first time I heard this theory.
Oh,
wow.
Brock's been on Reddit.
I'm just gonna get 25 for that.
That theory is going around. I've never heard that. Interesting. Although I haven't heard a lot of theories, to be honest.
Yeah, it was the same person came up with that. I think came up with Snowball being the pirate. That theory was going so that Snowball was the pirate operating 33.
Like Ratatouille.
Yeah.
Krang. Nice. All right. Did you guys? We got all the odds. Brock, Jeff news?
No. It looks like Mangold said something about his Star Wars.
Yeah.
Thing, and Bryce Dallas has a bunch of things, but
I have news.
What? Oh, you have news?
Well, I posted actually Skeleton Crew's numbers are getting better. In fact,
nice.
It was number one on Disney Plus last week.
Nice.
Wow. That's interesting because I thought they would go down from like the holidays, but good for it. It's a good show. I think honestly people are liking the show. I think the reviews are good from fans on Rotten Tomatoes and stuff. Brock, your shirt is cool. So I think once word gets out, and I do think I do think though after the last few shows, that people are like, let's binge Star Wars. Like, why am I going to watch it weekly?
Yeah.
And although I felt this show has been better at doing the weekly stuff, it's still 20, 30-minute episodes. What's that going to take you? How long is it? 4 hours to watch this?
Yeah.
People watch that much of Netflix in like one sitting anyway. So I think that's how people are going to do it. I think a lot of people are just like, I'll just binge it because people are saying if it wasn't good, they wouldn't binge it. But because I think word of mouth has been pretty solid for this show. And I can tell you the comments that we got here and stuff, it's like, there's like once in a while someone's like, it sucks. I'm like, does it? Or are you just an ass? And usually they're just an ass. So look, it's definitely not for everybody. It is it's more kid friendly and whatever, but I like the show, but it needs to be Netflixed. Yeah, see, it's the binge thing. I think a lot of people are going to binge it, and you'll see the ratings do what they do. But that's good news. That's good news.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Star Wars, you're back.
I mean, I know people who won't watch it till it completely drops, and my sister every time she watches it, she always binges it because she doesn't have Disney Plus, so we like do a girls' weekend, sit and binge watch Star Wars.
Nice.
And I will say these shows are better that way.
Yeah, I think that's why I think Mando and Grogu, title or not, I think it's a better idea for that to be a movie because season 3 was a movie that they just chopped up, and Boba Fett was a movie that they just chopped up, and Acolyte, like that Obi-Wan was actually a movie that they just chopped up. Like that one was factually a movie, and I think like sometimes just like I don't like again they made 3 effing Sonic movies that have combined to make $1 billion, and they haven't made one Star Wars movie in that time. It just blows my mind that just blows my mind.
Kind of a side Akbar, but it's on Star Wars. What's the actress who plays Fennec Shand?
Oh, Ming-Na Wen.
Yeah, she said in an interview she didn't know they were filming the Book of Boba Fett. She thought they were filming season 3 of The Mandalorian.
I feel like there's some, but that's what, like, again, if you don't call it these stupid titles, there's no confusion. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it shouldn't. Honestly, I saw people side Akbar being like, I will not watch the Boba Fett show, but I love the Mando show. I'm like, but it's it's the same freaking story. Like, it's like a side story to the story. Like, and that's the problem. Just stop calling it stupid characters, stupid names. Call it Star Wars. Everything's just been called Star Wars, Boba Fett, or whatever. Yeah. I still want to do that. But you know what I mean? Like these shouldn't be like Marvel where they don't matter. Like everything, it's Star Wars. They connect to each other. That's the point of it. It's one storyline. It's not individual characters like Marvel, that's not a knock on Marvel. I think that's what that is. It's comic books. It's like, I want to read Spider-Man. I want to read, those things. This is Star Wars. I want to watch Star Wars. Star Wars is the Avengers. It starts with the Avengers and it ends with the Avengers. You don't need the in-betweens. Like, that's what it is. I don't know. I think I don't know if they'll learn that. I don't know if that's a lesson or not, but stop with the characters and just give us Star Wars and focus on calling us and making Star Wars, not making it. I don't know. That's whatever. Okay. And I've liked most of these character name stuff, but damn it, stop it.
I mean, I think people would have appreciated Book of Boba Fett more if it had just been called Mandalorian Season 3.
Yeah, like, or if it was just part of season 3, or if they called it part 1 of season 3. You know what I mean? Like, if it was, because it bleeds right into it, right? Like, that's where Mando that's where Grogu comes back and Mando learns what he has to do in season 3. It's all from there. So yeah, it was the same story. You just got like 4 extra episodes of Boba Fett taking care of business. Yeah. Like, if you throw that in the middle of Mandalorian, I don't know. I think though. We're going to get to top 5, but I think they tried something and ultimately didn't work, and they'll probably never do it again, which I really liked it, but I think that they won't do that again, which again, if you don't call it the character name, not a big problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, let's or you know what they could have done, had season 3 of Mando and Book of Boba Fett happen at the same time, and the episodes overlap, and then those 2 episodes.
That would have been beautiful.
And then those 2 episodes of Mando just kind of like happened before, like at the beginning, like, you're like, oh
yeah.
But anyway, that didn't happen. I don't know. Top 5. Top 5 Star Wars planets. This is a big one. Brock, do you know where Hondo's from?
I feel like I should know that, but I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know either. I'm gonna go. Like, does Endor count? Are we gonna count Endor?
It's a moon, but
it's a moon. But like, is it a planet moon? It's a forest moon. Because I need to know.
I would say it would be a planet that you can walk on, or sorry, not walk on ground necessarily, but be outside of a ship and breathe. You know what I mean? So it's like
Endor counts.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna say Endor. So
okay. So am I. That's why I gotta really gotta break down.
Yeah, it's a moon too, isn't it?
Huh?
Wasn't Yavin a moon?
Yeah, Yavin's a moon.
Yeah. But Yavin's not on my list. Yavin doesn't have Ewoks. So
I would argue it would count if you want it to be.
You know what? Just any player they go in Star Wars counts. Just like I mean, in Skeleton Crew, they go on a moon that they're actually on a moon and they can still breathe without helmets on. So it's like it's Star Wars. You know what? Any spherical land is what we're talking about. My number 5 is at Adden. But you know what? More so the force field around it when it looked like a marble. I was like, oh, I really like the design of that. But I'm gonna go at Adden because it's kind of cool and it's a suburb, and I know that pisses people off, but not me because I'm a Star Wars whore. Brock.
I'm gonna be controversial and be like Canto Bite, because like who doesn't like a good casino? And it's got those horse races. There's like a waterfall, I think.
Father races. They're father.
Father.
What's the guy? Oh my god, I can't think of his name now. Angels in the Outfield. What's his name? What is his name?
Oh,
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. It has Joseph Gordon-Levitt in there.
Yeah.
Canto Bite. I did not expect Canto Bite. Heidi?
Well, since I've been there, I'm gonna say Batu.
Nice, yeah, Batu.
There's a flex. Well, I've been there, so I have to say where I've been. So I'm gonna go with Tatooine, number 4, Tatooine, because I mean everything happens on Tatooine. It's the center of the galaxy. It's the first introduction to Star Wars. It's got sand, and I hate sand. And so I'm gonna go Tatooine.
Yeah, I'm gonna do Tatooine as well because it's just sort of like you gotta go there. It's like I've never been to Florida. You gotta go to Florida, man. It's a swamp, but you gotta go.
I'm trying to go, man. Aaron does not. She's like, I don't want to go to Florida. I'm like, we need to go to Florida. Because now Selena has an obsession with Minnie Mouse out of nowhere. Like someone gave her a Minnie Mouse doll, and she's like, Minnie Mouse. I'm like, what the heck? How did you? She pulls up a Daisy Duck. She goes, Minnie Mouse. I'm like, that's Daisy Duck. She goes, Minnie Mouse. I'm like, all right, Minnie Mouse, go for it, Heidi.
Well, I have to, in honor of the holiday special, I'm gonna have to go with Kashyyyk.
Oh, Kashyyyk. Yeah.
Kashyyyk. Kashyyyk did not make my list. It was number 6 on my list. I didn't knock it out because I like suburban life. I don't actually like suburban life. I lived in the suburbs forever. Number 3 is Mustafar because it's a volcano. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could put Kashyyyk there, but I'm gonna go Mustafar instead. I like the lava. I actually like how it looked in the Rise of Skywalker, where you don't know that it's Mustafar, because it was kind of cool how it changed. I'm like, oh, I want to learn more about that, and they were like, not important. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, like, it actually wasn't Mustafar until we decided last minute it's Mustafar. But I'm gonna go with that because Vader's castle's there, and don't choke on your aspirations, director. Yeah, none of you are acting it. Come on, somebody.
Oh, is that a line from that movie?
I'm trying to just. Yeah.
Fired. I'm just gonna be lazy and be number 3. Number 3 for me is Coruscant. I mean, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I like Coruscant. Heidi?
I'm gonna go with the unknown love planet from the Acolyte.
Oh, nice! You just because of the caves with moon,
the hot tub,
like the hot planet hot tub. That's actually the planet name. My number 2 is Coruscant because it looks cool, and it was season 3 of Mandalorian, where it was like, oh, it's really cool when they ate the popsicles. Or was that Andor? No, that was Mandalorian when they ate the popsicles. I'm like, ooh, I want to walk around popsicles also. Yeah, I really don't.
My number 2 is gonna be Kashyyyk because I love Wookiees and tree houses are cool.
Yeah, I regret not having that. Heidi?
Despite the Gungan population, I'm going to go with Naboo.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't put Naboo. My number 1 is Endor because it's got Ewoks and tree houses, Brock. It's got both. It's got both.
number one with a bullet, Andor, because when you're here, you're Ewoks. Yeah. Forest Moon of Andor. Remember when Andor came out? We were like, Andor.
They honestly, the one thing Disney has sucked at is the naming, because everything sounds the freaking same. It's like, man, freaking get some new names.
Like Dantooine and Tatooine.
hey, that is from the saint that is George Lucas. You watch what you say.
Onderon and Alderaan.
It's so true.
I'm gonna go with Coruscant.
Ooh, la la.
Nice. Vermont Mike's number one is Naboo. I don't know why I didn't put Naboo on mine. It should have been. I love Naboo. Naboo is my number one. It's my number two. I'm going to take Mustafar out and replace it with Naboo.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, suck it, Mustafar. I don't like lava. I like Naboo.
What in Italy did you go to that was used for that? Was that in the second one?
It was it was Phantom Menace. It was the Queen's. It's in both. The Queen's Palace. Yeah, yeah. Someone walking around. I'm like, oh yeah. I was like, at first I was like, this looks familiar, and I was like, And then when I went home, I watched I think it was a VH, it might have been DVD, but I watched the behind the scenes because when they used to have featurettes on things, and they were like, they mentioned exactly where I was, and they showed. I was like, yeah, that's cool. God, that was 21 years ago. 21 years ago. Unbelievable. Those are our top 5. Thank you all for playing along in the comments with your top 5 Skeleton Crew. Great show. All right, anything else you guys want to say before we wrap it up?
I love Star Wars.
I love Star Wars.
That's controversial.
I love Star Wars. I said that like how my niece says, I love cake.
Just let you know, it was the 10th anniversary of Force Awakens. So
it's December. We're still a year away. I can't believe it's been 10 years, though.
We're in the year, though. So.
I know. Wild. 20 from Sith.
Do you get the meme on Instagram that it's like realizing it's like 2025, it's the 25th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith or something like that? Is that
20,
accurate?
Yeah. It's 20. It's 20 and Force Awakens is 10. Yeah, 10 and 20. And it's like, wow. I know. It's I don't know which one surprised me. Like Revenge of the Sith always felt like it came out 20 years ago. That's the thing. Like once the new ones came out, it felt like that movie was old. But Force Awakens is the tough one to swallow because it's like, man, it's been 10 years.
I got a scary one for you. Remember you saw Back to the Future? In the end, he tells Marty and Jennifer he's taking them to 2015, and we thought 40 years in the future. So, well, now it's 40.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Kids
party.
Wow.
I forgot. No, I was 13 when that came out.
Wow.
I remember watching the very first. I don't know, way back when we used to rent movies, there was a time, probably like 89, when you rent any movie you rented had Back to the Future 3 preview in front of them, in front of the VHS. It's like no matter what I watched, it was always there, and I was like, this is going to be, in my head, I'm like, Back to the Future 3 is going to be the greatest movie ever made. And when I watched it, I was like, damn, this is the greatest movie ever made. No, I don't think I ever liked it better than the second one. But I remember like it was in front of everything I rented for a long period of time. It was like it didn't matter what I watched. I'm like, Back to the Future 3 is coming out. We're gonna watch Back to the Future 3. Those are good movies.
I remember when you could rent a VCR.
Oh wow.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Because not everybody had VCR, so you just rent one to watch the movie.
That's wild. Now everything is on a friggin' that little SD card. It's not even, it's in a cloud.
Yeah.
It's beyond that, it's on a friggin' cloud. Like I stream things on a cloud. Unless I'm on a plane, then I have to download it to my device. But other than that, you just watch it on the cloud.
Yeah,
Netflix. Crazy.
What a time.
I moved my Netflix down to the one with ads, so I'm gonna let you guys know how that turns out when Erin starts yelling at me. She's like, "Why are there ads?" I'm like, "Well, it saved me like $12 a month to go." I'm like, and I canceled Disney again, and Disney's like, "Well, what if we give you 3 months at like $3?" I'm like, "Haha, sold."
Just give us any money, any of your money.
That's what it feels like. It's like every time I cancel, they're like, "We'll give you a deal." I'm like, "Then why would I? I'm not gonna pay full price ever. You're gonna give me," and it, like it has commercials. I'm not gonna lie. This episode, it shows you where the commercials are. Right, you have the tags. It started with a commercial, and I was like, "Here we go," and not another one the entire time.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it showed me where they were coming, but I paused it and I rewound it because my dog started barking her head off because the snowplow came up or the sander or something. It was a machine on the road. And I was like, "Oh," so I rewound it. And I don't know if that affected the ads or not, but it did. I didn't get any ads after that. There was no ads, commercials. I got none after that. So I'll have to try next week. Because I was going to be like, guys, I'm going to be like 10 minutes late. Because last week, and they're all for this weird like cologne or something with this half naked guy dancing in black and white. I'm like, this is a kid's show, man. I want like this is weird. But and Uber, God, the Uber ads. I don't ever want to use Uber ever because there's. But anyway, just saying. I only had the one at the very beginning, and then not another one. And I just realized it right now. I was like, oh, that's right. I didn't have to stop because that's when I go to like get a glass of water. You know how it is. Anyway, anything else you guys want to say about this episode?
Yeah, if Disney now has black and white episodes of naked guys dancing, I might get the commercial.
I knew you were gonna react to that. I'm like,
it's so true. It's just this guy in like a bucket cap, like this, like topless. And I'm like, I don't.
Was it Jude Law?
No, I don't. Imagine it's Jude Law. He's like, watch Skeleton Crew and buy this cologne. It's Captain Silvo cologne. I think it's cologne. I don't even know what it is. It's just like this random half naked guy dancing. I'm like, what is happening? And then I usually walk away and get like water.
But I don't watch it.
All right.
I'm still naked guy dancing. Whatever.
Yeah, perfect.
I love this show. So even if you don't like a kid show, I think it's beyond the kid show. So.
Yeah.
By the way, there weren't kid movies or kid shows until the mid 70s. Even though the rating system didn't become a thing until 1968, it still wasn't like there wasn't like a kids movie or kids show until like the mid 70s. Because G was just G. I mean, Planet of the Apes was rated G, and
as it should be.
That should not be rated G.
That's a family movie.
Yeah, but I mean, Charles Heston is naked in it. I mean,
he wears more than the guy dancing in the cologne commercial I just watched.
So
really?
What was I watching? I put something on at Christmas time, and I was like watching like some Christmas show, and this half naked guy starts dancing by my cologne. I'm like, no, I just want to watch Donald Duck sing Jingle Bells. Let's go. Let's get out of here. Who also is half naked, so I guess I can't really complain. Brock, anything else you want to say?
No. Hello. I am Brock. I like Star Wars. Yeah. That's it.
Vermont Mike rented a laser display for Empire Strikes Back.
If you want, you can go to
Amazon,
buy my trashy romance novels. So.
Freaking do it.
Do it
now.
Do it.
I am no Shakespeare. I'll be the first to admit it, but you know what?
See, Shakespeare
People
sucks.
who like my stuff know what they like.
Shakespeare sucks. All it is dialogue.
All this is dialogue. Yeah. I mean, yeah. You're not wrong. There's never a point where there's no explosions.
No one explosion in Shakespeare. It's the worst. I hate it. Now, what I do hate though is when I watch a Shakespeare movie and the actor clearly doesn't know what they're saying and they say the lines and I'm like, I know you don't understand the words that are coming out of your mouth. So how about we all just agree that you're not the right fit for this? All right, everybody. Thanks for watching Skeleton Crew. It's a fantastic show and it continues to get better weekly. We'll see though. Next week is the one that matters. Like honestly, it's like the Toronto Maple Leafs hockey season. It doesn't matter until the end. Let's see how it's going to wrap up. Because it's been a blast so far. I have faith though. I have faith, and that's where I screw up. And that's why, Brock, you were always scum.
Rebel scum.
Bags, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Scum Podcast, for all the latest videos.